What is up, guys? It's your boy, Gone Fishin' Cactus, and today, Season of the Deep goes live within Destiny 2 sometime. As you can see, there have been several delays for Season of the Deep, so I'm going to take this free time and talk about all of the new features coming into the game when this new season finally does launch, because a ton of information has come out since the time it was supposed to be released. And so, let's get started. So, first of all, in terms of story, we have Into the Abyss. Titan's ocean floor is teeming with Taken and Hive, searching for something at the bottom of its methane ocean. Guardians must follow them into the deep to uncover ancient secrets and learn more about the Witness's origins. So it sounds like this is similar to what we've had in previous seasons, where we have dedicated weekly story missions where we go and, in this case, probably go every single time onto the bottom of the ocean, and perhaps other gameplay elements will incorporate that, but a very cool addition. But moving on from there, guys, the new seasonal match-made activity is called Salvage. Recover Golden Age tech from sunken arcology structures on Titan. Explore the seafloor for the first time as you face the Lucian Hive and a variety of elements in several unprecedented encounters. So again, we are going to be going to Titan, the moon of Saturn, that is returning as a location. So likely we're going to have fights on top and below the surface of this new location. Moving on from there, guys, another activity that's being added is fishing. Yes, literal fishing is coming to Destiny 2. You can see several screenshots of it right here. And apparently, you're going to be able to get actual loot, like seasonal armor and weapon drops from doing this activity. And you can also see it's not just one place. Several different planets are going to have fishing spots where you can go and engage in this activity. Now guys, moving on from there, something else being added is a new mission called Beneath the Veil, and you can see the press screenshots released regarding this mission. So it looks like you go back where the final mission of the Lightfall expansion took place to do yet another mission and probably learn a lot more, finally, about what the heck the Veil actually is. And likely this is going to be available for purchasers of the Lightfall expansion, because it's so heavily tied in, it's in the same area on Neptune, etc. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the way you get the new Strand Aspects that we do know are coming within this new season. But moving on from there, guys, let's talk about the new weapons coming to Season of the Deep. So first of all, the seasonal weapon is, as you can see, this new Arc exotic auto rifle. That's very exciting. We saw it in the trailer that was released for this season. Next up, the seasonal weapons are these Taken weapons, Taken versions of old school Reckoning and Gambit Prime weapons. That is very, very cool. But also, Bungie released this screenshot here of the original versions of these Taken weapons that we just saw. Now, the background is clearly Gambit. Are all of these weapons being added to specifically Gambit and really spicing up Gambit? Or are there going to be other ways to acquire these weapons? Because there are 6 weapons here. That's quite a lot. We've never had an evergreen activity like Gambit, Vanguard, Crucible get this many weapons in one go. That's very interesting. Or are you going to acquire these normal weapons and there's going to be ways to turn them into Taken weapons? Is it as simple as just a shader that's added to turn them into the Taken forms? That's questions we're going to have to wait for. Now, in terms of other weapons, as you can see right here, this is the new sniper rifle that's going to be the competitive PvP sniper rifle. It's an ARC sniper. Bungie's just outright adding a Barrett 50 cal to the game, I guess. And then after that, guys, we have 2 new Iron Banner weapons that you can see right here. We have the return of the Iron Banner grenade launcher. I think it's called the Swarm of the Raven. But we also have a brand new Iron Banner fusion rifle that you can see right here. Then moving on from there, guys, we have information on the 3 new exotic armor pieces coming to Destiny 2 with this season. So first of all, for the Hunter, we have the Triton Vice. A hunter's glaive comes alive with power and overflows with each foe they dispatch, matching subclass and glaive elements, causing projectile eliminations to detonate. Wow, so a glaive-focused exotic. So definitely if you're making a build revolving around glaives, this is a huge addition. And, you know, definitely the eliminations causes enemies to detonate is pretty interesting. I wonder if it's going to be like an elemental detonation, which would have more synergies, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on from there, guys, for the Titan, you have the Arbor Warden exotic chest. So Titans are empowered to create grenades fueled by the Traveler's Light. When thrown, these new grenades explode and create a barricade at the impact location. So, wow, this is absolutely crazy. First of all, it says like these new grenades. So putting on this exotic, it sounds like will completely override whatever grenade you've selected with your build. Like that won't matter. It's going to give you these completely new grenades. And so you throw it and it creates a barricade. So it creates, I wonder if it's going to be a default barricade, like if it's always towering barricade, or it changes depending on what your subclass selection of your class ability is. That could be very interesting, but especially if it is a towering barricade and like doesn't take away your class energy, you could potentially like throw one grenade and then use your actual class ability and create like a big wall in front of you. Again, it also does mention it explodes and creates, so likely it's going to do damage and then also create this barricade. So it's got offensive and defensive capabilities. Very interesting. We've never really seen anything like this. Next up, guys, for the Warlock, we have the Cenotaph Mask Exotic Helmet. In the hands of a Warlock, traced rifles automatically reload and mark combatants. Allies who assist in eliminating these targets are rewarded with heavy ammo. So another heavy ammo generating exotic. I mean, when we have stuff like the Aeon exotic gauntlets, those are some of the most meta exotics in the game for PvE activities, especially stuff like Grandmasters, where getting finishers can spawn heavy for your team. This is going to also spawn heavy, but in such a completely different way. And I mean, there's several good trace rifles in the game. I mean, we just got the Root of Nightmares raid trace rifle, which is pretty darn good. So being able to incorporate that into your build and then spawn heavy, yeah, this actually sounds pretty interesting. Now moving on from there, guys, one last big addition coming this season is the fact that the Last Wish raid is actually getting updated, and as you can see right here from this newly released patch note, you can now craft Last Wish raid weapons. Now Bungie is not going to add a special chest where you can go and spend your spoils of conquest on certain weapons that drop red border and stuff like that. Instead, Hawthorne is going to actually turn into kind of like the vendor for Last Wish, and you can get more Last Wish weapons from her. So very interesting update. Certainly when this happened with the Deepstone Crypt, that caused that raid to massively raise in value, and Bungie also went in and updated the roles of the raid exotics and added new perks and so on to the craftable options. So definitely Last Wish is going to become a lot more important this season too. Guys, that's it for the kind of the big stuff that's been released involving this expansion. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at Rickakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.